Well, it's beginning to look a lot more like Christmas out there, how this wintry weather is affecting shoppers ahead of the big day and tracking threats to the public, how the Wisconsin Department of Justice is responding to Monday's tragedy in Madison, plus starting the healing after the Abundant Life shooting, the growing memorial for the lives lost during the tragic event. We welcome you to News 3 now at 6. And we begin tonight with our alert day conditions. The snow coming down all across southern Wisconsin. We have crews out live in the field bringing you the latest on our road conditions. But tonight we start with our chief meteorologist, Alex Harrington. He is out on the weather patio. And Alex, what do the snow totals look like right now?
Hey, Eric, snow totals here at the studio, 3 inches, but we're getting reports of 4, 5, 6 inches of snow from areas Madison and points to the north, lesser amounts to the south. Just what we were saying last night is how things would line up. We're going to go through a little tour across southern Wisconsin, reduced visibilities here on our first Warren weather cam, looking out at Edgewater at the Capitol right now. If we look at radar 3000, even here at the studio, notice the snow right up to southwestern portion of Madison. That's why it's coming down at a decent clip here, and also starting to come down at a decent clip at near the Capitol. Planning our evening, that snow is going to continue all the rest of tonight. We're going to track it a little bit more using Future Track during Maine weather. But let's look across the rest of southern Wisconsin. Downtown Dodgeville with our first Warren weather cam, also reduced visibility. Checking radar 3000, just a few flurries out across the prairies, but they may be having a little bit of blowing of snow out across the flatter prairies in southwestern Wisconsin. In Platteville, just a couple of flurries right now, and our Queen Bee radio skycam showing slightly reduced visibilities, and that's likely because the winds are a little bit up there, causing a little bit of blowing across southern Wisconsin. That snow is eyeing up Madison and areas to the south and east in Madison and areas to the north. Coming up in Maine weather, we're going to track more snow that's expected to sweep into southern Wisconsin overnight.
Alex, thank you. And as we continue to track the weather, let's take a look at travel in this wintry weather. Tanisha Shaw is out live on our roadways. Tanisha, you spoke to some holiday shoppers going out in this weather.
Hey, Eric. Yes, I spoke to holiday shoppers who are out shopping in this, but I'm going to show you exactly what this is. So let's take a look at the roads. I'm on the belt line going west right now. The snow has picked up so much within the last 15 minutes that I've been in the car. If you look at the bottom of your screen, that snow just falling down on the roadways. But thankfully, the belt line is pretty clear. But also always remember to keep space when you're driving in conditions like this. You never know how bad it can get in a matter of minutes. But again, I did get a chance to speak to shoppers who told me they are more than happy to be shopping out in this weather.
Yeah, it's the Midwest. We don't mind snow.
The gift-giving holidays are just days away. With Thursday's forecast, we could see a white Christmas.
I live in Florida now, so this is a big culture shock, and I hesitated, but then I went for it because I'm originally from here, so.
Shoppers said that the snow is not stopping them from finding last-minute gifts.
We only get so much time around Christmas time to do the shopping, so you got to take advantage of the days when they come.
No matter who you're shopping for.
Grandma and brother's girlfriend.
My daughter and coworkers and friends.
Or what you're buying.
Lulu, Madewell, maybe Anthropology.
Just Christmas gifts for the family and chocolates, I think, as well later on.
Hilldale's marketing manager says this crowd is typical around the holidays, with or without snow.
Honestly, it doesn't feel like the snow's keeping people away. I mean, we see people with hands full of shopping bags, rolls of wrapping paper, and the like, so it doesn't seem to be slowing people down.
And if you're going out for the holidays, shoppers say it's important to be prepared.
Have a game plan before you go. You know, especially when it's coming down like this and it's cold, for me, because I just want to get from store to store, so.
I'm going to be super careful and take my time and go slow and go the roads that I know are probably the safest, so.
Yeah, and as they said, it's always best to have a plan. Of course, a plan for shopping, but also a plan when you're going out during weather like this. Make sure you have a plan, make sure you know where you're going, make sure that you're practicing driving safely. Reporting in Madison, Tanisha Shaw, News 3 Now.
All right, Tanisha, thank you very much. The teacher killed in the Abundant Life school shooting has been identified by the Dane County Medical Examiner's Office. She is 42-year-old Erin Michelle West of DeForest. West worked as a teacher at Abundant Life for 4 years. Students who knew her describe her as always being positive. A funeral service for West will be held on Monday at noon at Doxa Church in Madison. And we're continuing to learn more about the shooting that claimed West's life, as well as that of a 14-year-old student. For more information about a connection to the shooting in California, our Maddie Himes joins us now with more details. Maddie?
So the FBI has detained a 20-year-old California man they say was in contact with that 15-year-old shooter. Authorities say the man was planning to attack a government building. A San Diego Superior Court judge approved a gun violence restraining order Tuesday night against the man, requiring him to turn over his guns. According to court documents, the man told FBI agents he was plotting a mass shooting with the ALCS shooter and told her about his plan to attack the unspecified government building. Currently, the Madison Police Department says their top priority is identifying a motive in Monday's shooting. Police Chief Sean Barnes says it appears to have been motivated by a combination of factors.
Maddie, thank you. And here in Wisconsin, a statewide intelligence center helps track possible threats. Our political reporter Will Keneally sat down with the agency's leader. That would be Attorney General Josh Kaul. And Will is live now at the state capitol with the latest. Will?
Yeah, Eric, that office, or the intelligence office, collates different social media chatter, for example, to check for possible dangers to Wisconsinites here. Now, it was created after 9/11, Kaul tells us, and it's a fusion center marshaling federal, state, and local resources to produce that intelligence. Now, in the wake of Monday's shooting, we asked Kaul whether this intelligence center had heard anything that might have predicted Monday's shooting.
I'm not aware of any information that law enforcement had prior to this that indicated they could act. But again, the investigation's being led by Madison PD, so that's the agency that can speak to the details on this.
Now, Kaul says that the Wisconsin Department of Justice will continue to provide support to Madison Police as they continue to investigate the possible motive for Monday's shooting. We'll have more from our interview coming up tonight at 10 from Josh Kaul. But for now, reporting from the state capitol, Will Keneally, News 3 Now.
Will, thank you. Our community is still trying to process and heal after the school shooting at Abundant Life. Our Merrill Hubbard went to the school to show us a growing memorial and volunteers who are there to help.
Here at Abundant Life, this memorial stands for the student and teacher who lost their lives in Monday's shooting. We met some volunteers here who are helping people pray for the community, family, and the lives lost.
Pray for the families who are grieving the death of their loved ones, those that are still in the hospital. Pray for the faculty, pray for the students, and pray for Madison, Wisconsin.
Abundant Life Christian School lost 14-year-old student Ruby Vergara and 42-year-old teacher Aaron West. 2 crosses from Hearts of Mercy and Compassion give people a place to write messages to them. And more volunteers are there to help people pray.
We deploy followers of Christ to respond to natural and man-made disasters, to provide emotional, spiritual support. So unfortunately, these are happening more and more across the nation.
Jason is with the Billy Graham Evangelical Rapid Response Team. He says they often travel to schools that have experienced gun violence.
When I got here Monday night and immediately met with the pastoral staff, and we are just so amazed by the love of the faculty, the love of the members of the congregation.
With prayers and people showing up to give their regards, the memorial has grown with messages, teddy bears, flowers, and candles still lit, even on a snowy day.
This is a special, special community, and they're going to get through it. They're going to get through it.
There are church services nearby, like at the neighboring City Church, for anyone who needs an ear to listen to them. Reporting in Madison, Merrill Hubbard, News 3 Now.
14-year-old Ruby Vergara's funeral will be on Saturday, and as we mentioned, Aaron West's will be on Monday. Still ahead on News 3 Now at 6, Alex tells us when the snow will begin to stop falling and being aware of your child's online activity. The tips from one local expert on how parents can manage their kids' screen time. That's next.
You're watching News 3 Now at 6.
As technology continues to add more complex layers to our lives, so too does parenting. Our Jalen Banks joins us now with the latest Time for Kids report with SSM Health on navigating this digital age as a parent. Jalen.
Eric, we have seen an absolute boom in technology over the past 10 to 15 years. And there, as you mentioned, nuances, some wrinkles that are added to that. So how do you go about it when you're parenting in this digital age? I went out to get some of those answers, so take a look. Video games.
Yes, good job.
Tablets, computers, phones, social media, you name it. The list goes on. Technology and digital media are ingrained into the lives of many people these days. And according to a 2023 Pew Research Center survey, nearly half of U.S. teens say they're on social media constantly, which is double from what they found in their 2014 and 2015 surveys. And with its rapid usage and growth comes uncertainty and unknown. And Dr. Jeremy Chapman, a child psychiatrist with SSM Health, says there are real concerns to be had for anyone parenting in today's world with technology.
But it is kind of the Wild West. Parents might think, well, with a good, 20-minute primer, I should be able to help my child navigate all video games or all social media. And again, it's a little bit simplistic, and it overlooks the fact that every one of these games and social media apps has its complete own ecosystem.
And Chapman says sitting down to listen and learn can bridge the gap between parent and child.
So whenever somebody mentions a new video game or a YouTuber, people are missing an opportunity to learn about what kids are doing on screens.
And to see how some families navigate this Wild West, I sat down with the Blakesley family, who have 3 elementary-age children, to see how they traverse this digital world as a family.
It's a brave new world. A lot of these things didn't exist when I was a kid. My folks didn't have to deal with it, period. We just started getting internet maybe when I was his age. AOL Online, baby, and typing classes. That was what we did.
Even though the desire for the digital world may not have been there when he was a kid, doesn't mean it won't be there for his.
I like my watch, I think because they won't let me get a phone. I would definitely take a phone if they offered me a phone instead of a watch.
And the Blakesleys have taken a more collaborative approach.
Don't you smirk.
Even if the outcomes aren't the most ideal.
Sometimes it's, we say, well, what do you think? And why might it be a poor choice if we gave you a phone with all sorts of access? Sometimes we have real life lessons because they made a poor choice online. And we say, this is why you don't have,
Like when I accidentally called the police.
That would be one. That would be one reason.
Accidental calls to 911 aside, the Blakesleys understand there are real drawbacks with technology use.
We do get asked regularly, why don't I have a phone? But usually when we sit down and ask, they can come up with a few good reasons themselves why maybe it's a better time to wait. We have shown, at least the older one, the actual research that says social media can be really harmful to kids their age, especially worry about, self-esteem.
However, they realize the digital world can bring real benefits as well.
Then we thought, okay, that's reasonable because one of his friends wanted to call their folks. Well, their folks weren't in his watch, so he couldn't help them out to give them a call. So we gave him access to that, and we slowly bring up freedoms and responsibilities so that they can try that.
So this is just a bit of a primer as far as this digital playbook campaign. A few things that we have on the horizon for our digital playbook is parenting in the age of AI, taking a look at our government and beyond and how they're taking measures to protect children from social media. Those are just a few things we're cooking up, so be on the lookout for them.
I like his approach. Hold it off as long as you can. It can wait. Sure. Jalen, thank you. After the break, Alex rejoins us. Take a look at those snow totals. Plus, clearing the sidewalks on the city of Madison is dealing with the first major snowfall of the season.
You're watching News 3 Now at 6.
As the first big snowfall of the season's rolling in, the city of Madison giving us a few important reminders on how to keep our neighbors safe and ourselves safe and avoid fines as well. Braden Ross joins us live out on our sidewalk where she's continuing to work very, very hard to make sure our sidewalks are clear as our employees walk to their vehicles. Braden, are you about done?
Hey, Eric, I promise I have made more progress than this since the last time we talked, but I feel like the snow is just coming down and just like ruining all my progress. So I'm just going to keep going. But I'm doing exactly what everyone out there is going to have to do by tomorrow at noon. If you have a sidewalk on your property, remember you are responsible for making sure it is clear of snow and ice. And if you don't, you could be looking at more than $100 in fines. Plus, you could be putting your fellow Madisonians at risk.
It's super important to make sure that our walkways are clear for those people who are, maybe using the sidewalks to get to work, run errands, or get to a bus stop, especially considering those who may be using wheelchairs or walkers. It's super tough for them in these conditions if the sidewalks aren't clear.
Now, again, you've got until noon the day after the snow stops falling, so that's probably going to be tomorrow to make sure your sidewalk is clear. And you could also face fines for over salting. A lot of times that extra salt ends up in our lakes, which we don't want. But if you do need extra sand, the city of Madison does have sand buckets. They kind of look like garbage cans, but say sand on them placed around town. You can go buy those and pick up some extra sand if you need it in a bucket and just bring it back home to make sure your sidewalk is all clear. But I'm going to go back and I guess try to make up for the progress I've lost.
You're very good at this. I can tell you're from the Twin Cities, Braden. I can tell you've got a lot of experience shoveling sidewalks.
This is the Minnesota in me.
That is very good work. Braden, thank you. As we mentioned, alert day across southern Wisconsin. Alex, she's clearing the walkway off for her fellow employees, and there's going to be a lot of folks out there shoveling tonight.
Yeah, she's doing her civic duty. Thanks, Braden. And my car's just right around the corner as well. Got to find some humor in all of this, too, even though from a serious standpoint, winter weather advisory for much of southern Wisconsin. The lesser amounts are going to be towards the Wisconsin-Illinois border. Higher amounts, Madison, Wisconsin, River Valley, I-94 and areas towards the north. Just as we were mentioning last night is how this would likely pan out. This is what's left in terms of additional snow. Let's start in the southwest. Maybe 1 to 2 inches over towards Platteville. 2 to 3 more inches expected in the Madison area over towards the Wisconsin River Valley and east along I-94. And then north and east of I-94, 3, maybe 4 more inches before all is said and done. Now, Braden said that things are coming down at a more decent clip. You can see that here with our first Warren weather cam here looking at the capital, or the lack thereof the capital, because we're right on the edge of some moderate snow in the downtown Madison area, extending off towards the south and east towards Stoughton, down Highway 14. Things are probably, visibility is probably not very good right now. We'll continue to see snow throughout the evening hours, temperatures in the upper 20s. Friends in Dodgeville with the Upland Hills Sky Cam, also snow coming down downtown Dodgeville, although it looks quite festive out there. And there is just that little bit of light snow still over central Iowa County. And then to the southwest in Platteville, where they've had lesser amounts of snow, it doesn't look like we have very significantly reduced visibilities. But the point in showing you our cams is that we can show you the weather across southern Wisconsin, which is a little bit different than using tools like Radar 3000 only to show you that we have snow across southern Wisconsin. Yet another band of snow developing up towards the north, up towards Wisconsin Dells. And that is a hint of things to come. That will come to the south and towards the east as this weather system starts to move to the south and east. And we have more snow coming, yet another band expected during the early morning hours of Friday, lasting through the rush hour time frame, and then conditions will eventually improve as we head towards 10 o'clock. Overall amounts, widespread 3 to 6 inches across southern Wisconsin, lesser amounts towards the Illinois border, the 6, 7, 8, maybe some isolated higher amounts up towards central Wisconsin. Impacts right now are greatest with travel. Moderate snow continuing, light to moderate snow overnight through about 6 a.m. and then conditions will eventually improve as we get to 10 o'clock and after, and then we will have to clear out just as Braden was doing a little bit earlier. A cold weekend ahead is going to keep that snow on the ground. We moderate a little bit towards Christmas with some snow chances on Monday, so I think the likelihood of having a white Christmas in southern Wisconsin is very high.
And coming up in sports, the celebration poster. We break down the dunk on Dad next on News 3 Now. We've seen how Wisconsin celebrated after taking home the Greenbrier Tip-Off Championship, dousing water on Greg Gard. But in the Indy Classic, the Badgers took their locker room celebration up a notch or two. After his post-game press conference, Gard walked right into a poster dunk by none other than his son, Isaac. And the dunk on Dad was the only way this group wanted to celebrate their first win in December.
The tournament had gave us like a souvenir little hoop, and what else would you do than dunk on your coach with his kid? So you said, IG, get a ball, get ready.
We felt like that was right. We felt like anyone else wouldn't have been as good. So to see Isaac do that to his dad, it was good to see.
It was short notice, and Coach G walked in kind of fast, so IG got up quick and went off 2 and dunked it with 1. Maybe could have lobbed it for him, but that's for the next time.
And for more on that, plus everything Badger men's basketball, tune into this week's Wisconsin Huddle. That's tomorrow night. But first, here's a sneak peek at this week's Wisconsin Huddle Unleashed with John Blackwell.
And welcome into this week's Wisconsin Huddle Unleashed. I'm Zach Hanley alongside John Blackwell, and we're going to play some slapjack. How you feel about this?
I'm ready. Let's do it.
You never played it before, though, right?
Still bad. I'm
quick
ready.
learner?
Yeah, quick learner.
Oh.
Who got that? That was me for sure.
No.
That was me.
No. We're checking the tape after this. That's definite me. That's definitely.
Did that count?
No. I did check the
You're
tape.
competitive.
That was me.
It was you?
Yeah.
You're competitive. When are you going to go one-on-one with one of these guys and see
Soon.
what happens? Yeah.
Soon.
That's going to be a whole other ball game. Let's go to Alex. Quick final check.
Sure, we have more snow in southern Wisconsin, about 1 inch in the far southwest, maybe another 2 to 3 inches in Madison over towards the Wisconsin River Valley, east along I-94. More to the north of Madison, 3, maybe another 4-inch isolated amount before things are all said and done.
All right, Alex, thank you. Thanks for joining us at 6. We'll have more updates. Join us tonight for News 3 Now at 10.